What's up, guys? Today we're going to be going over the Division, the new Burst Arc Sidearm in Act 2. And I kind of love the scene, but I don't think it's going to be for everyone. So in this video, we're going to be going over the 2, maybe 3 rules I want on this sidearm, and just seeing how good it is overall. So jumping right into the perks, just looking at the combos, because it's kind of limited in terms of options for PvE. So in the left, we really only have one normal reload perk, and that's going to be Eddy Current, where after sprinting, you're going to get a decent amount of stats for reload. Then once you're amplified, it will increase the buffs up to 60 reload speed and a 0.95 reload duration multiplier. So pretty good, but not like the best reload perk ever. Now outside of that, for PvE, I mean, you really only have Grave Robber and Pugilist, where Grave Robber will reload the weapon from reserves on every melee final blow or every charged melee hit. And Pugilist, on every single kill, you'll get melee energy back. And just a quick rant, like, I'm pretty sure this is obvious to almost anyone that plays Destiny. Why are these perks separate? Why have they not been combined at some point over the years? Like, in my opinion, Pugilist should have never came out. It should have just been added to Grave Robber. If we compare it to, like, just simply Demolitionist, I mean, Demolitionist, you get the grenade energy back on kill, and throwing a grenade reloads your weapon from reserve. And it has a 3-second cooldown on the reload effect, and Grave Robber has that same 3-second cooldown already. So why are the two melee versions of the perk just split while Demo can have both? It doesn't really make a lot of sense, so I just don't see any reason why they're not already combined. And you could say Grave Robber has more uptime because it's on any melee final blow, while the grenade, you need your full grenade charge to throw it. So if you combine the perks, just make it so it only reload on charged melee use, and not also just any melee final blow in general. And I mean, yeah, I just don't get it. But yeah, those are pretty much the only 3 perks even worth mentioning in the left, and they're not even that great. They're okay. But with Eddy Current, you compare that with Volt Shot, and Volt Shot is still one of my favorite perks in the game. I do think D-Stab is better now. Jolt and Volatile are very similar in a lot of ways, where they're going to be a debuff to a target, and every time you hit the target, it'll create the Chain Lightning or the Void Explosion. So they're very similar in the way they function, but Volt Shot, once you reload, you can apply the Jolt to one target, and that's it. Where D-Stab now, you get Volatile rounds for like 4-5 seconds if it's enhanced, and you can spread it to multiple targets, so it's obviously just a way better Volt Shot at this point, just because of the amount of things you can spread it to. If Volt Shot lasted for 4 seconds on every hit, it applied Jolt, you know, we'd be in the same boat then, but that's not how it works. But even with that, I still love Volt Shot, and pairing that with Eddy Current is a great role. And I've always been a huge fan of these 2-round bursts, or even the 3-round burst sidearms. I've used them over and over again throughout the years as like one of my go-to primaries, and having one with a good Volt Shot roll is pretty nice. Now, I'm not gonna say it's like a game-changing weapon. I think if you like burst sidearms, you're gonna love the scene. But if you're not a huge fan of sidearms already, I don't think this is going to change too much for you. So that's the first role I'd want. The second role would just be a Swashbuckler plus either Pugilist or Grave Robber. Pugilist obviously better for getting your melee back, Grave Robber to avoid reloading. And avoiding reloading is kind of important on this weapon because its base reload speed is pretty low. Now the origin trait will help out with that a little bit, but it definitely needs a decent amount of help. So you might look into running like Arc Loader or something like that if you're running Pugilist. But I like either of those roles for some of the more popular melee builds out right now. Lightning Surge on Warlock, Thunderclap or Consecration on Titan, and stuff like that. So that would be my second role I would want. And the third role, potentially, is there are some other good damage perks on the right. So we have Sword Logic or Surrounded. Surrounded in particular will be really good. Surrounded is 40%, Enhanced is 47%, which is a lot of damage increase just for being surrounded by 3 enemies, and with this being a sidearm, you're going to be surrounded quite often. But the issue with those 2 damage perks is, once again, there's not any like typically great left column perks. If you're playing an Arc build or Prismatic, you can still get away with Eddy Current, or you can run with Pugilist or Grave Robber. And Grave Robber surrounded makes sense, you're going to be up close and personal, I guess, but, you know, it's still not great. And yeah, that is kind of my whole review of this weapon. I think if you are a fan of things like Breachlight and these 2-round burst sidearms, you will like this scene, but it's by no means like game-changing. The left column perks are kind of not great overall, and it really only leaves like 2 roles that even make any amount of sense, which is the Eddy Current Volt Shot, then Pugilist or Grave Robber plus Swashbuckler. But if you are a fan of these things like me, it's definitely worth getting. But it's not going to be a game changer for like any builds. It doesn't really have synergy with any of the meta builds right now. Maybe outside of Geomag to apply the Jolt and create the traces. But yeah, let me know what role you want on Division down below. And if this is even a sidearm that you even care to farm. Anyways, like usual, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.